and I think Shadow Fiend and the Venomancer live throughout that. But so far, we are going to see Sentinel pull ahead with the 10 and 6, and they are going to catch up in terms of tower counts as well. Keep in mind they are a lot better late game as well. Broodmother already got her Ogre Axe. Let's see, Dusa is sitting at almost a Lincoln Sphere, and I think they're in a good position to grab early game leads. Let's see, the Windrunner does have the Mega finish as well. I think she popped it in that last epic team fight mid lane as well. So far, everything is going according to plan, minus a couple of deaths here and there. But I think Sentinel is pretty comfortable where they're sitting at right now.
Yeah, and I stand by what I said at the beginning, where I do think the late game potential does go to Nirvana. And I mean, if we look at tower kills and how the pushing has gone, I guess they've only taken one tower, whereas 2 are down, or 4 are down in favor of Deity. But I feel like at this moment, they've entered more of a stalemate, and we're gonna have to see Deity, I think, take an upper hand soon. Because if it stays like this, Medusa's gonna get out of control already, almost at the Lincolns. So
she got it.
Oh, just has the Lincolns already? Yeah. So really, they're gonna have to. We're really gonna. This is where Batrider is gonna be key, because Batrider is gonna have to be instrumental in picking off this Dusa before she gets too far. But then again, this Lincoln Sphere, or I guess actually Flaming Lasso goes through that, doesn't it? So,
well,
not that affected.
It depends how pro that Batrider is, but a smart thing he did pick up was that Urn. Urn does break your Lincoln charge, so if he pops in Urn and then Lasso immediately, we can see a pretty good combo. I think that's probably the reason why he got the Urn. Urn definitely a good item. And we see another perfect Shackle shot going on the Batrider. Batrider gets picked off immediately, and now we see everyone teleport in, but that Silencer is constant presence no matter where he is. And God Strength if pop, but I think he is going to be in trouble. That's another last word. Venomancer ult goes up. Black Hole gets one hero only, and there you go. That Global Silence canceling absolutely everything. That Chain Frost clearing creeps like a boss, but I think that Enigma is going to go down as well. Enigma goes down. Shadow Fiend pops his ult, getting nothing by Spiderlings, and Broodmother comes in with his own BKB, and is going to outdamage a Shadow Fiend. Oh, there you go.
I have to say, this is a huge shame. I'm actually really disappointed seeing Deity's play here. They're just, I mean, Nirvana is engaging as a team, or they're, getting picked off, and then Deity is falling into the trap where once one hero goes down, they just fall one by one. And this is the second time where Nevermore has come in basically solo after his entire team has died, and like, of course you're gonna die. Like, that's, they're really just, the team battles right now from Deity are completely lacking. And I mean, credit to Yathets for basically initiating so well and putting them on their heels, so that getting rid of that initial hero and kind of making them flee, and really Deity is just melting under the pressure. So I mean, certainly not out of it, in that if I kind of want to see how they perform when they are actually at their potential with the team fight. But at this rate, if they continue to fight like this, this game's already in the bag, and already they're gonna have to pull off some sort of a miracle, in my opinion. But especially with the farm that we're getting on this Dusa, and Broodmother already at the BKB. As we saw the one-on-one battle, Dusa versus Nevermore definitely goes in favor. Sorry, Dusa versus Nevermore. I meant Broodmother versus Nevermore definitely goes in favor of the Broodmother. So in the back of your mind, you just keep thinking about this Dusa who's not dying and is continuing to gather creep kills. Right now, what's the gold count there on Joe? He's at 2100. He's probably going to pick up, I don't know, maybe pick up an Ultimate Orb again, maybe go for the Manta. But actually, if in this position, I might actually go straight for a Butterfly. Honestly, I don't think you could really miss. I just feel like the health is not entirely needed right now. I feel like Medusa is not going to be the first target, especially when you have a Silencer on your team. Another great thing about Silencer support, I'm a huge Silencer fanboy, by the way. Another good thing about Silencer support is that Silencer cannot be ignored. Silencer is number 1 target in team fights. And if you think about it, that's pretty good for your other 4 teammates, because that means that they're all number 2 at most. So, Dusa, you're not going to be able to target Dusa first, because you have to get rid of that Silencer. You just have to. And I feel like Dusa can actually maybe throw Deity off even more by going for more of an offensive item now. Let's see what the choice is. Still hasn't bought anything. Oh, I think that Joe's in agreement with me, because I think they're saving up for that Eagle Horn at the moment. And we're going to be seeing a Roshan battle, but perhaps Deity will back up. Please, let's hope that they are a little more coordinated than they have been. you'd think that, it's very interesting seeing how Yafets is actually being the one who's picking them off at the start of team fights. When you have a Batrider, that's Batrider's job. Batrider is supposed to make the team fights 4-on-5 going in. But it's been the other way, interestingly enough.
Yeah, Yafets in this tournament has just shown us that he is probably the king of missile initiators, especially when he plays that line. And I mean, this hero Windrunner is definitely out of his stable 3, right? His Shadow Fiend is of course epic. He does have a really good Storm and line as well, but he's showing that he can play things like Pugna and Windrunner as well, and carrying the team. And so far, his Windrunner is just so convincing that might be this is one of his best hero, but no, definitely not. Like, he has still have many heroes up his I guess resume list, and he's just shown that he could play an absolute winner. I think that the thing that I have neglected to mention, which we see just to say that Windrunner gets zapped in and gets pwned. Oh no, well, is she gonna be okay? Windrun's out. There you go, good raise from Tron. Picks her off. Yeah, but the thing I failed to mention was actually DGC's mom's watching him play today.
Seriously?
I think I was watching a live stream before I think game 1 happened, and they were interviewing DGC's mom, and it was it panned out to DGC. He was like blushing a little bit because his mom's watching and whatnot. But game 1, right, DGC with his mom watching just had the most spectacular Enigma performance, and that won it for me. I was like, dude, with your mom watching, you could do anything. So I think that is the X factor of Nirvana China right now. No joke, no joke.
Really, the mom presence, man. I wonder how many parents are in the audience here. I know that was common in StarCraft. I always love seeing like the teary-eyed parents after the kid wins, like the OSL or whatever. But we're seeing a Roshan attempt right now as God Strength popped on Sven. Man, he's only level 9. Severely underleveled, gets unluckily he gets stunned twice. He's going to teleport home. So they are going to, fortunately for them, one thing is going right so far, and they do pick off the Roshan before we can get Nirvana go take them out. So here, I'm a little curious here. Did you notice back then that we saw Windrunner bought back? But maybe if there's a big creep wave that no one else was going to farm, but Windrunner had bought back and just kind of aimlessly ran around the forest. So I was... Maybe was it to try and prevent a Roshan kill? I'm struggling to put a reason behind that buyback.
I think trying to stop the Roshan kill was a good logical reason, and I think that probably that was a reason. I don't think in WDC Finals Game 2, where you 1 away from the victory, you would just like do a rage buyback. I don't think that's definitely the case, but his teammates were just farming top and mid, so I'm not too sure if they were really trying to prevent a Roshan attempt. You would think they would all be there. But maybe
a little
odd.
Indecision there. Not
and actually,
sure, but
at the bot lane, I see a tango on the ground. Right, this is like such a techie bait move. I'm not sure. That's actually what it reminded me. Like you mine like crazy and you put a tango on the ground. But
yeah, that's I mean that would be awesome if that was actually their intent. Unfortunately, I feel like there's not too much meaning behind that. And wow, we see. Oh man, never mind. I thought that Medusa was saving up for that. Whoa, sorry, those on the mini-map I saw the illusions, which kind of scared me top lane. They're going to be pushing this tower. So Medusa went against my wishes and went for the Manta instead of the Eagle Horn. Of course, a great buy. So pretty sure after this, though, going to be going for that Butterfly. Man, already at the Manta Lincolns, now the farming is going to be even better than before. And if anything, since I last mentioned it, Deity is in a worse position than they were before. The tower kills have evened out and... in fact, are now in favor of Nirvana, and through that process, if you think about it, I think since I last mentioned it, they've gone through, what, like 5 tower kills or something? So that's why we're seeing this crazy amount of gold right now, 1,000 gold right now on Zhou, and they're even able to begin this push on the final tower. Venomancer set up these wards, but really, if you go into turtle mode against a Medusa, I mean, like, normally you go into turtle mode with a Medusa, but if you're going against a Medusa, you know you're in dire straits.
It's not gonna work. Actually, in a very recent in-house, gone a turtle mode against a Medusa as a Spectre. You would think Spectre is one of those really rare late game heroes that could out damage Medusa. No, I was sadly mistaken. I was the Spectre. And it did not happen. And I mean, if you look at the picks, right, you would think, well, if all comes down to it, if there was a perfect magical ultimate, team fight from the Scourge, they might be able to win it because they do have big AoE ults, but I mean, that's Silencer. Because all those tower kills, he is going to be so buff. He does already have a Planeswalker Cloak. Keep in mind, there is going to be a Frost Armor on him as well. So he's going to be extremely tanky despite only having 1,000 HP. So it's like Ian said earlier, you got to focus the Silencer first. And because of all this, tower kills, because of the Frost Armor, I don't think Deity could dig themselves out of this really deep hole they're digging.
And now Dusa's taking out, like, what is this, an army of Scourge creeps on top, and pretty soon it's going to be at that Eagle Horn. Really, the game plan for Nirvana is being followed essentially perfectly, where these tower pushes have been made possible by the Broodmother, and as I mentioned, to my liking, I like Broodmother being played that way more as like a lot of emphasis. I mean, why pick a Broodmother if you're not going to be pushing with her? I mean, I guess like sometimes we see her. It's kind of like when you see on rare occasions you see Nevermore late game carrying your team, but like and I know Broodmother has a similar kind of potential, but really it should be used more so for early mid-game pushes, because those spiderlings, even at early levels, can just tank the tower like no other. And thanks to that, silently in the background, Medusa is able to, I mean, think about it. They had a solo Broodmother on top who was quite successful, and that took, 2 or 3 heroes out of action. Was killed once, and I guess Deity did get two tower kills in the process, but the fact that it opened up Zhou to basically free farm bot has eventually paid off. Meanwhile, we do see that Lich is going to end up going down. Good effort there from Lich, making them... Wow, Sven popped his ulti for that, but not sure if that was exactly necessary. But at this moment, Sven's ulti is not that important. He's level 11 right now. We've got like a level 17 Medusa in the game, who is now at 3,000 gold, 300 away. I feel like right now, at this point in the game, we're just kind of waiting for Medusa to get that Eagle Horn and get the butterfly, and then we're going to see like another push. And if that's not enough, Nirvana's like, okay, that's fine. We'll just wait another 6 minutes until Medusa gets another tier 4 item, and then we'll try again. And if that doesn't work, we'll wait another 4 minutes and then get another tier 4 item. And so I feel like that's how this game's going to play out. And that's a pretty solid game plan. So
the bad thing is it's not going to be too terribly exciting for you guys. The good thing is we're going to just sit around chit chat, about random stuff. I'm not sure that's good or bad, but actually, just going back to this game, how it's playing out. The only rare time I saw Nirvana China was just in a little bit defensive mode. That's probably the only time, like right after the Bat Rider picked up his Blink Dagger, there was like a minute or so we saw 4 heroes just huddling up, in the mid lane, kind of fearing that Bat Rider. That was it, and that action alone didn't really translate into anything. Like it won't translate into the game scoreboard or anything, but that action alone, just like you can't really feed a Bat Rider if you're huddling around. Yes, you're slowing down your farm here and there, but a Bat Rider generally get most of his mid-game income through kills. And once you're denying that out of that, Bat Rider is just pretty much a useless hero right now. Yes, he does have the best item in the game right now, which is a Force Staff, but that's not enough to stop Medusa.
Yeah, and we're maybe seeing a half-hearted attempt from 5 Nevermores taking on this mid tower, but really, Nirvana's gonna have no trouble holding this off. We don't even have a Blink Dagger on Enigma. He opted for the BKB. I do agree that's a good bet, but they're really not gonna be able to set up any good combos. I mean, Nirvana's too smart to have more than 2 heroes caught up in an ultimate, and yeah, I mean, the longer this game goes, the more Nirvana is just drawn closer to victory. So I think it's pretty. My money's right now is on Nirvana, but 10 charges on that magic stick right now for Dusa. Maybe too poor to upgrade that stick to a wand. What do you think? But
I think it's a little bit too poor. Maybe.
Yeah, I guess maybe. I mean, he is Chinese, so pretty thrifty, right? So
you gotta stay cheap, man. You gotta stay cheap.
Exactly. If you don't need those 5 charges, she doesn't think you need the 5 charges. I'm not gonna waste my money on that, right? So.
And we see some Manta Spartan 300 arrows flying in from that one Dusa alone. And I mean, does Glyph pop in that fight? Yeah, I think it was Glyph did pop in that fight. So that's like the last of defense here. And so far, I mean, let's go over some item analysis before the team fight breaks out. Mega finish on the Venomancer BKB, great choice because you never want to blink in as Enigma and then Silencer just says low and press E. You never want that to be happening.